Barak, Yahweh, Alam, Shalom, righteous family. Welcome back to True Talk. And since Charlie Kirk, we're just gonna call him CK. Uh, since he passed, I've been seeing a lot of people uh ignorantly spewing forth false information, and the certain people that's doing this, they have a agenda. And see, when you know the truth, can't nobody lie to you. And you see how the scripture says the devil is the father of all lies. And the devil, he don't mind telling simple lies and unbelievable lies. Like when you understand the world and how the devil and people and lies work, and you know the truth, it's like, wow, I can't believe people believe this lie. But as the scripture also says, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So by the grace of the Most High, by the Most High favor, may He give us all a little edifying today. Maybe you didn't know, maybe you did know, maybe you may find out something new about DEI. What is it? Why does it exist? Why in America do we have to have a government to come up with a program called DEI? Why do it have to exist in the world today? Well, it's simple. Racism. Certain people don't want certain people to have opportunities. Certain people don't want to hire certain people. And you got certain people that are fighting for equals rights. See, DEI stand for think diversity, equal inclusion. Meaning, no matter how diverse somebody is, they got to be seen as an equal and concluded if they meet the standards. Because the lie that's been floating around, and I heard our president and certain people on one side been telling this blatant lie, and people just believe them, sadly, that black people are just getting jobs because of DEI, that we are unqualified, that the only thing you gotta uh, get a job, I guess it's good to be a black man in this country because if you want to be a pilot, just go and claim uh, DEI and they'll hire you as a pilot. Want to be a police officer, a lawyer, a judge, anything you want to be, they gotta hire you because of DEI, and that's what these people got people thinking. These people just think with common sense instead of feelings and emotion. They'll say, "Wait a minute, that don't make sense." Say CK said that if he see a black pilot, that he's gonna question, and he made like it was because of DEI that he was questioning because he's like, this black man, they just probably gave him the job because they wanted to, this DUI, they got to include black people. But let's break that down. Why do DEI, uh, my bad, DEI, I keep saying DUI like or whatever I keep saying, but DEI, why do it exist today in this world? Why did it came about? Because there was a study, I can't remember the study name, You know how they take surveys and studies, and they went around to all these big companies. There was two different studies, and they went around to all these big companies, Amazon, Walmart, uh, you name it, all these big companies, and they went into the board meeting. You know, the ones that make decisions, and they were saying that a lot of these companies was having a hard trouble trying to reach minority, black people, a certain demographic of people, especially African American people in the hood, Latinos and Asian people like that that they was not able to kind of reach to pull them in to buy their product. And when they looked in the board meetings, the people that was making decisions, making big decisions at the companies to advertise to different uh, dynamics of groups, different dynamics of groups and different people, they found out that probably 90 something, I'm gonna say about 96, if not 97, of the people that was a charge and around these board meetings and making decisions and with CEOs and was the head of these companies, 97% of them were old Caucasian men that was well over their 50s. And they were saying this was the problem because they was like, and then they trickled down to certain people that was hired in certain positions, hiring these companies in high positions, Amazon, Walmart, Prime, all these big companies, Apple. And they said that even out of the boardroom, a lot of these high positions, inside the company, at least 93% were Caucasian men. And they was like, why is this? And as always, they found that it was discrimination. That they had Negroes, black people, Hebrews, either one of those three, you know, Negroes are considered black people and black people are Hebrews, the Israelites. But Negroes, Latinos, and white women was not getting hired at a high rate at these companies. And they noticed that they didn't have no, how can I say, homosexuals there neither. And if it was a Christianity based program or the people that own the company or did the hiring was had a Catholic or Christian faith, they noticed that these people did not hire people that was Islam or Muslim. So there was discrimination going on basically. They was keeping people from getting jobs because of their religion, because of their background, because of who they were as a person. And people was qualified for these jobs. But when they put their applications in because they was black or they wasn't a Christian or maybe because they was gay, they wouldn't get hired. So that's when, you know, certain people that want this country to be equal, that want black people to have a equal share, they say, well, we got to change this. And, you know, let's compromise. They talk with the business. And this the deal they made with these big companies. They say, look, you ain't got to hire a whole bunch of black people or gay people or women's. You just got to hire a certain percent. let's just say, I'm not sure, y'all can look it up, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna just say like it's a low number. It gotta be like 7% of your company at least gotta be diverse and fall up under this DEI. And if you make 7% of your company diverse, then you meet this quota of DEI. We will give you a bonus every year, a big lump sum. So we will pay you off. So the government is actually bribing companies and businesses to hire black people. They say if you hire these people that's qualified, we will give you money. And they're like, well, how many do I have to hire? Well, only just got to meet this quota, just percent right here. Just like 7% of your company got to be diverse. But diversity fall up under, you can be gay or a woman, fall up under that, because remember it was mostly just Caucasian man. So the diversity equals not only minorities but women's a different background. So another thing they don't tell you, one of the biggest benefits of DEI is Caucasian women. I don't even know if Caucasian women realize, because when you get hired, they don't tell you you're DEI hired. But when certain companies hire white women, only the company know that I'm hiring this person and they're gonna go up under DEI. So when they started hiring more Caucasian women, that fell up under DEI, and they was able to meet their quota. To some companies, don't quote me on this, but let's just say 7% of their company had to be diverse. Maybe they'll have a gay white man in there, or a Muslim man in there, and a couple of white women and one Asian woman. Like they make like this thing with just getting black people jobs, where it wasn't even really about black people. Like like everything that we fought for, everything that's for us, is also go to benefit and help everybody else. It's never just be for us. We are the most unselfish people. Every time we fight or something supposed to be set in order for us, it benefit everybody else more than it benefit us. But did certain black people that was qualified, that was able to do the job, got hired and fell under DEI? Yes. And I say thank God. Like just think about 2025. Well, DEI is gone, so we'll see how that look in a couple of years. But if this thing was never set in order, certain black people that like to talk about how they so free and they got a good job, you wouldn't even have your job if the government did not bribe these companies and say we'll pay you if you hire these people. You wouldn't even got hired. So a lot of black people that's doing well and got good jobs, even though they went to school and got all these degrees, they wouldn't have got hired if it wasn't for DEI. It was a little something to try to even the playing field. But these people are so like, how can you be a superior race, but you want to cheat? And when you everybody say nah, and let's fight fair, you throw a temping tantrum, talk about how the country going to hell, and start making up lies about how people are being unqualified and doing all this just so you can. It's all about maintaining power and white supremacists. To be uh, 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 what they call it, a white supremacist, as they say, if you so supreme, why do you have to cheat? Why do you have to keep everybody else down for you to stay up? Like, you really think about this logic, that when a couple of Negroes started getting hires at certain companies, only a few, that this country really got so mad, they like, no, how can we stop these certain Negroes that are getting up in these companies? How can we stop them? Let's stop DEI and let's come up with this big lie that they are not qualified, they just being hired. and make like this DEI is racist and it's just taking good jobs from white people that's all qualified and giving them to unqualified Negroes that's not intelligent enough. They can't do the job. They just got it because of DEI. And what make it even so sad, people hear that and they believe it. Even our own people. That's why when the people has been destroyed, like our people and brainwashed, only can we tell our people, "Oh, you're not smart enough. You're not stupid enough. You can't do this." And self-consciously, we won't fight it. We'll just believe it. Cause the Negroes that actually believed that when they was like, "Oh, D.E.I just giving people jobs, black people jobs, and they not qualified," they just that black person self-consciously have to think to itself, "I'm not good enough to do these jobs. They have to cheat for me." When we know for years the truth is that most of the time we overqualified. We gotta work twice as hard to get just near to what some of them that don't even know what they doing be in position. So who benefit off DEI more than anybody? Caucasian, gay Caucasian men's, transgender, and yes, transgender was a part of this. That if you could not, uh, if you hire a transgender, she'll fall up under, or whatever you call it, he, she, it will fall up under DEI. So certain companies would just hire transgender just to get that money, just to make that quota. But these transgenders was qualified for the job. It wasn't like they just picked any transgender and said work here. And these people was Caucasian and all different background. So for handicapped people, you see that lady in the wheelchair right there? There was certain job where certain people are considered handicapped, but they had that degree to do the job and are just as capable of doing the job than anybody else. I don't know, say they may have one arm or something, but they got a degree in computer and they can type with one hand. Some jobs will not hire those people, even though they capable of doing the job and went to school and got their degree. Those people also fall up under DEI. That you can't discriminate because of a handicap or their race or their sexual gender or their religious background. If you a Christian group and somebody say be a Muslim and they want to work there, most if they qualify, you will hire them. Now you ain't got to, but if you want to meet this quota and get this lumps of money for the government, which these people agree that they want money, they will hire this Muslim. They'll fall under DUI to meet that quota to get this money. But everybody they hire is qualified. And once again, the biggest benefit of DEI is Caucasian women because the diversity was we need to diversify for more than just old Caucasian white men being in these positions. So, I mean, I hope I explained it with clarity. I hope we all edify whoever see this video. I hope you have a better understanding of what DEI I would say is but was and why it exists and why it had to exist in a time like this and why certain people are mad that it exists because I don't know, they feel like they ain't getting ahead, they feel like they getting left behind, they feel like that they gotta cheat, that they don't want even the little they give you they don't want you to have. And when I thought about this, I was thought about doing the 1950s and 60s. You know, I think that's the good old days what they referring to. Uh, right before the baby boomers came. In this country, white people they was living it up. They had as much money as they want, and they had a lot of babies, and that's where you get the baby boomers. A lot of those baby boomers, uh, during that time, this was when rock and roll and uh, they were having a war in Vietnam and what they call those people with the peace sign. I forgot what they call them, hipsy. And a lot of these people, they didn't have to work hard. Their family already had it. So the money that was left for them, the money that they had, they just traveled the world, did drugs, like lived a life. And now they're older and sick and overweight. And now they pushing the whole don't do drugs to the kids and stay away from bad music. And they done messed up the church's money, as we say. They done messed up the generation wealth that they people had. They fumbled the bag. So now we fast forward to today, where they ain't got nothing to leave their kids. Like they mama left them because they scrambled it away. Some of them spent hundreds of $1,000s to send certain kids to college for certain degrees, and the child dropped out or the degree they got find out it wasn't worth nothing. They couldn't use it. So now we fast forward here where now Caucasian working right beside the Negroes, even though they had a 400-year start, and they wealth grab quadruple us, and many of them still are rich in a nice neighborhood, but they ain't got it the way they thought they would have it. A lot of them are working right beside us and staying in trailer parks and renting out apartments and staying in old family houses, trying to keep up with the rent and I mean the mortgage and light bill and food and stuff. And they felt like this American dream that they tell us to pull up by a bootstrap, which they folks was giving a handout. Oh yeah, go and study and read your history. White people did not pull themselves up by their bootstrap. The government assist them in every way, gave them free land, free vouchers, taught the farmer how to farm. That's why a farmer with a lot of this world back that they doing welfare, a lot of what they don't tell you, a lot of farmers, the programs that they were getting felt under welfare. A lot of Caucasian farmers. That white women are the biggest benefits of welfare. So I don't listen to people when they say, "Oh, black people are always looking for the government to help them. Do it yourself." No, the government is supposed to help their people. Throughout American history, the government blessed, gifted, and helped their people because you can't have a strong nation with just poor, broke, no good people. So it would be in the government best interest to assist and help the people all they can if they want a strong, healthy nation. And that's what this nation did for one group of people and kept another group of people that built this country out. And every wealth that we had, they stole, bombed, and took from us and left us with nothing. But still, we rise. You know, come to think of, I would them, I'd be mad too. Like, dang, what's that? They baby kids, they don't die, they multiply. We try to kill these Negroes. We did everything possible to destroy them, and they still here making TikTok dances and making that hip hop music and preaching the gospel. Like what? But nevertheless, man, when you really look at it as a whole, it's like you expect the government just supposed to take our taxes, send us to war, but we don't supposed to, that's just what the government for, make decisions, but we don't supposed to. No, we supposed to make decisions. The government is there to take care of us. It's our money. Government officials and everything that they getting paid is our money anyway through taxes. And there was another thing, college for for, for many years was free for Caucasians to go to college. Just free. Just send your children to college. Get them an education. But as soon as Negro came in the picture, they said, "Oh, we got money they don't, so we're gonna charge to go to college." And the white people said, "We don't mind paying these colleges to send our kids there, as long as we can keep the Negroes out." Oh yeah, racism is stupid and inexpensive. How they say that these people would rather shoot off their own foot just, you know, for you not have a little bit. They'll make it harder on themselves just for the fact they think that you might have it. Healthcare would have been free, but there was a race of white people just like people of the day is fighting against DEI. That should be something that we all should want to push because it benefit everybody, not just Negroes. But you have race and white people say, well, I don't want these Negroes getting free health care. This is my tax money. So this is why today in this country we don't have free health care because the racists back then they want Negroes to have free health care, but they consider them paying their tax money for Negroes to be taken care of. So now everybody got to pay, and they was willing to pay. They're like, well, long they can't pay because they thought we weren't gonna be able to pay. But won't the Most High make a way out of no way? But hope this will edify family. But always remember, let Yah be true and every man a lie. Until next time, Shalom.